Stanley Lamar. I've just always been in woodwork some which way. Went to school. Dad was logging on the side. Then when I graduated, me and him just started logging together and just kept building up. Then he got cancer about 15 years ago. I tried to get out of the logging business. I got the sawmill, raise chickens now. People just keep bringing wood to keep cutting up. Store prices got too high, so everybody is at home afraid of the COVID, and I was working 6 days a week. I told them I wasn't working 7. So that's all I do. Where are you going? Get down. Grandboy's a puppy. Somebody give it to him. And that stays down here with me. But that's all I do, sawmill and raise chickens. But we can take a log and go from start to finish with it if you need to. We can dry it, we can plane it, make flooring, paneling, just about anything you want. I try to do stuff you can't go to town and get. That way there's a demand for everything. I guess one of my biggest customers is we cut what they call slats. It's a 1-inch square stick, 4 or 5 foot long, for laying houses for hens to get on, to go to the nest. We're working on 68,000 of them right now. We're about 1/3 done. But we do that 3 or 4 times a year, anywhere from 20,000 to 150,000 of them at a time. So then I have to buy wood. I can't cut that much. We'll go through probably 50, 75 tractor trailer loads of poplar a year just cutting slats out of it. And then they'd send stuff that's too short or wouldn't work for a slat, so then I went to drying it and making tongue and groove with a V-joint and putting it on walls and flooring, and everybody likes it, so now I can't get caught up. So we're building a house, and that's what I'm going to put in it. Poplar, gum, just anything that's odd looking color, that's what I'm putting in. You can go to town and buy pine, but you can't go to town and buy poplar and gum and sycamore. They got some of the prettiest grains in them you'll ever see. But I cheated on our house. It's a log house, but it's made out of cement reinforced fiberglass. But it looks just like a hand-hewed log. The only reason I went with that is no maintenance. You never have to paint it. It don't rot. Bugs don't get in it, and it won't burn. So it started out 12 foot off the ground, goes up 47 feet. So I didn't want to be painting. I'm 65-year-old. I don't need to be up on a big ladder. That's pretty much about all I do around here. Got a few cows on the back. I see them once, twice a month. Rest of the time I'm here from usually 7 in the morning to 7, 8 o'clock at night. Try to quit about lunch on Saturday, go eat. Take a little while off. Go to church on Sunday morning, Sunday night when we can. That's a typical wood sawyer's life. You think you're getting caught up and 3 more call you. I said I was going to quit 2 years ago, but I'm still doing it. Most of the ones that quit end up dying pretty soon, so I guess I'll work till I die. But woodwork goes way back in 2 or 3 generations back. My granddaddy and them, they logged when they come over here from Mississippi. So Daddy worked with the highway department and cut wood in the evening times. And when I graduated, that's what I say, we just started logging. We done that 30 years, I guess. Then somebody told me it'd be easier getting the chicken business. He lied to me. They more work in chicken than they are logging. But labor force is useless right now. You can't find nobody that wants to work. They'll watch you work. I said, if you're going to watch me, you might as well just go on. I'll do it by myself like I always do. Takes me a little longer to get it done. If you want me to do it, just don't be in a hurry. That's about all I can think of. Buy wood, cut wood, and then you have to work on everything too. No mechanics around anymore. If you find one, they want to charge you more, and you can go to a dealer and get it fixed. But dealers don't even want to work on nothing no more. If anybody sees this and wants to learn how, come by here and I'll show you everything I know. Sell you a meal and you can start work. That'd be something you can do on your side time. If you like woodwork, they hard to find meals right now, but you can find them. Just got to be willing to work at it. More work than they are pay. Unless you can finish it. If you can make your own wood and finish it, then you can do real good at it. I know a few that does that. Anything else you can think of? Used to, people would come by and want to go eat. I'd shut down and go eat, but they quit coming by. They know I'll go eat. We like to eat. Maybe I can slow down after this year. Get that house built, and then I'm going to stay over there on the porch. Maybe. Life's getting shorter. That's about all I can think of.
Tell me about your wife.
She worked for Kellogg's for 35 years. She retired 2 years ago, said she was going to help me do all this and tend to chickens. She ain't been out of the house in 2 years. When she retired, she retired. And gets mad because I still have to work. So now her and her sisters go places and I stay at home. But when you work for the public, you got to do what they want or you don't have a job. People just don't understand. I think working for yourself's easy. They ought to try it. It's easy to get in trouble. It's harder to get out. I try to help anybody that needs help. I just like sawdust, I reckon. People come in here with something and say, can you cut this? I'll do the best I can. I just like to have a challenge every once in a while. They'll bring logs in here that big and want you to cut a 2 by 12 out of it. I said, well, it ain't 12 inches. You can't hardly do that. You got to start bigger to get littler. You can't start little and get big. I got one more thing we're trying. I got a machine sitting up there we bought back at Christmas to grind all this waste up and make sawdust to go in chicken houses. 'cause sawdust is getting so high. It's anywhere from $800 to $1,600 a tractor trailer load. So if I can grind up all of my waste and save from having to buy so much every year, might not make no more money, but it ought to save money. Just be another day or two a week work. Son says he's gonna run that one, but maybe he will. Got one grandson, he's 16, he likes to fish. He just started letting him hunt last year. First day he went, killed a 10-point. Said, look yonder, pow. Didn't even get to see it before he done had it shot. Then he killed another one. He's good at what he does. Just I try to keep him out from down here. He needs to learn something, because I don't know how much future's gonna be in these little old sawmills. Old people's dying out and nobody's wanting to take it on anyway, so. Of course, you know, and everybody knows this country's going downhill fast. I don't want to get in politics. Mama always said, if you can't say nothing good about somebody, just don't say nothing at all.
Tell me about your faith in Jesus.
I believe in Jesus. I try to follow him as close as I can. Work makes it hard, but that's the reason I don't work on Sunday unless it's emergency at the chicken house. That's the only time I work. We go to a little old Baptist church about 2 miles from here. Been going there for probably close to 30 years now, I guess. Went through several pastors. We got a pretty good one right now. At one time we had 11 in that one church. Then they moved out to different churches, and a few of them's coming back. Said they missed the God-fearing church. A lot of people just want to hear what tickles your ears, but that don't work. I like little country churches. He called back. Our whole family goes to this church over here. We probably make up half of it. Got homecoming coming up here second week in July. You can get a lot of good eating at these little old churches too. Something about them little old women in there, they can cook. They cooking for the right person. What else you need?
Tell me about your dad.
I guess he is probably one of the hardest working people I ever knew. He's one of 10, I think, in their family. And most all of them back, his grandparents had something to do with logging at some point in time. Then when they moved over here in Alabama, he got on with the highway department and worked there 40 years. But he'd still cut short wood or whatever in the evenings after he got off. Then when I graduated, we just started back logging again. We done that for probably another 20-something years. Then when they said he had cancer, doctor said, I can't cure you, but I can get you 5 or 6 years, and she got him 7. Then it went from bone cancer to in his kidneys, and then when they shut down, there wasn't a whole lot to do then. He said he wasn't going to do dialysis every day, so he checked in the hospital on Friday and died the following Saturday. Which he was fighting it a little harder. Her mom, she had a stroke and died about 3 months earlier, and he give up, I think, then. It's just me left. I got 1 or 2 aunts and 1 uncle left on his side. That's all that's left. And I just heard yesterday that the last living uncle, he had a heart attack. He's in the hospital. Don't know how bad yet, but he was always the rowdy one anyway. I guess I was brought up in the crowd that worked. Because like I say, him and my uncle, they both worked at the highway department, and they got off at 4. They'd either go carpenter or cut wood or paint or something till 9, 10 o'clock at night. And when I got old enough to go, I'd follow along with them. I just never did get in the painting part, so I stuck with the wood part. Just ain't too many of us left. Neighbor up the road, he's 83 and he's still piddling with wood. He's quit a dozen times. Be right back in it in a week. He likes to build everything he works with, but he's built over 100 sawmills, get them working good, and then he'd sell it. Said I quit. 2 or 3 weeks, he'd be building another one. I guess I got a lot from him too. Seems like it's easier to build something than it is to go buy it. You can't find what you need. It's peaceful out here in the country.
You just have 1 son?
Mm-hmm.
1 child?
1 son, 1 grandson.
What's your son's name, and tell me about him?
Brandon.
What do you love most about Brandon?
Well, he's the only one I got, I reckon, so. He tries to help people too, he got mixed up in the wrong bunch a few years ago and about ruined him, but he's coming around. But he can do anything out here that you can get him to do. He can saw, he can plane, he runs the grinder mostly, but like I say, he don't like to start before lunchtime. I'm ready to go home by lunchtime. But when I get help, I have to keep working till help quits, and I'm usually down here after they quit and go home, so wife gets mad. You don't never come home before dark. So it's more peaceful down here. Like I say, about 12:30 on a Saturday, I try to run everybody off and get gone by then. We like to go to Cave Springs and eat lunch about 1:30. Good restaurant there. You can go in and eat and be gone. If you get there about 2:30, you'll wait an hour or 2 to get in. That's the only day I reckon, besides Sunday, go to church and then go eat and come home. Try to take a nap and rest that day. When I got chickens, there's no rest there. It's always, alarm might call you in the middle of the night, middle of the day. It don't matter to them. They gonna, something happen, it'll call you. Then I have to go. Try to have somebody else looking after it on Sunday where I don't have to go, but if something tears up, I have to go. Nothing tears up till after midnight. I got a couple of friends used talking about mission. They like to go on mission trips and build stuff for people. I always wanted to try that. But the way this world's got, I'm nearly scared to leave the country. They don't nobody like the U.S. anymore. But when I tell them when it's time, it's time. Ain't nothing I can do about it. Got some sister-in-laws fuss at me all the time about that. Well, you can take care of yourself. I said, well, I do the best I can, but when it's time, ain't nothing I can do about it. I know my time's getting shorter. Used to work all day, and that takes me all day to get started. But if I could change it, I wouldn't change a thing. Sawdust ain't good for you around here. Makes you cough.
What do you want your legacy to be, Stanley?
Don't really know. They ain't gonna tell you I was lazy. All of my wife's family, all of them's retired except for me and one mower. We the only ones still working. They think I should quit. I said, you pay my bills, I'll quit. They think 'cause you work for yourself, you got all the money you need, but they'll try it a while. Then it goes back to wants. If you didn't have no wants, you wouldn't have to work. All they want to do is eat, fuss, and go fishing. I ain't been fishing in 2 years. Got a pond right over there. Everybody else come fish in it, but it ain't 100 yards from my house. I could walk down there, but I don't never go. Last time I fished in it, I caught a pretty good sized cat and got up the bank, and it got off the hook and got back in the water, and I went home. Grandson, he goes every day. He went over on the back pond. I think he caught about a 10 or 12 pound bass out of there. Took his picture with it and turned it loose.
What are you most proud of?
Just being here. Family, I guess. That's a small one, but we got one. Like most families, you fuss a lot anyway, but I think that's what keeps your blood pumping. I guess if I'm gone and take care of the kids, I guess that's about the only thing won't have to worry about, maybe. If they'll work, they got everything right here they need to make a living. But they gotta want to do it first. They'll do more when I'm not here, 'cause they'll have to. Or be like a dog, just lay around, chase a cat if you want to, or just lay around waiting somebody feeds you. That and there, she'll hunt. Got baby chickens Monday, and she was coming through the door hunting chicken. I had to catch her and tote her back outside. She heard that squeaking of them baby chickens, and she was coming out or something. Need to find me a maid, you know, where I can get one, clean up around here a little bit. My blower tore up, so now I have to sweep up every day. So when you gonna start in the woodworking? When you get time. That's what I tell everybody. If I had time, well, the only way you gonna get time, just have to take it. We ain't got but so much, then it's gone. I joked with them at church. I said, when I get to heaven, they'll have me on garbage detail. I'll still have to work. Ain't supposed to be no work when you get there, though, are they?
That's what they say.
I'm about ready to go. Tired.
That means you'll live another 30 years.
Ain't nobody on our side live much past 70. All of Daddy's brothers and uncles and grandparents, all them on his side died with some form of cancer. Then everybody on Mama's sides died with some form of diabetes, complications or something. So I'm right in the middle. I'm already diabetic, but I don't pay it no attention. That's what I told the doctor. Said, you need to eat right. I said, I'm 64 years old. I'm going to eat pretty much what I can as long as I can. I said, it may come a time where I can't eat. That's about the only pleasure I get is eating or work. I just like to see what I can make and can't make. I wish I learned more about how to build stuff. I can get by at it, but I ain't good at it. But people will bring their trees around here and want as many 1x12s as you can get, and I always get more than they thought they was gonna get, but you gotta work at it to get it. But all of our kids I've growed up with, they all getting grown now and moving off themselves, so we got one little grand girl right now. She's 2 or 2.5. Not ours, but my wife's sister's. And they all got her rent. She got 4 mamas over there. That's where our grandboy was. She was working, I was working, so all of them took turn about keeping him when he was little. So if one won't give him what he wants, he goes ask another. His mama left him when he was born. We've had him ever since he was born. He ain't seen his mama since probably 4 or 5 years old, maybe 6. She's had 3 or 4 more kids by different people. Don't never see them either. One of them got killed here a few months ago. One of her boys, I can't even remember his name now. Him and Skylar was the only 2 of her other ones that ever had anything to do with each other. Then he was at the wrong place at the wrong time, got shot. He was only 13 maybe. Yeah, he's got I don't know what you call that. They say kids has got when they're too hyper. But he ain't quiet. Bus driver got on to him on school bus. It's been a few years ago. And said, "I'm going to call your mama and tell on you." And he said, "If you can find her, call her." The bus driver didn't have a clue what to say to that. And she talked to another driver and said, "Yeah, he ain't seen his mama in 7, 8 years." But it don't bother him, I don't reckon, or he don't act like it does. But it would mean.
It does.
I told her last time I seen her, I better not catch her back on this place, 'cause they're stealing everything we had. Law won't do nothing about it around here. He just said, "Do whatever you got to do and call me and I'll take care of it." So I reckon that's all it took. They ain't been back. I work hard for mine. If you need it, less me, I'll give it to you, but don't just come in here and steal it. I don't lock nothing up. Everything sits wherever I get done with it, and it was here when I come back, except for when she was around. But like I say, she ain't been here in a long time. Probably 10 years now or longer. 'Cause he's 16, so yeah, it's been at least 10, 11 years. I just don't like trouble. It's hard enough to get around in this old world anyway.